Everyone in Willow Creek knew the big day had finally arrived for Sarah Bennett, the quiet, gentle, plus-size woman who had spent her whole life being mocked for her weight, her shyness, and her dreams of finding love. She wasn't rich, wasn't glamorous, and wasn't the talk of the town except when people wanted someone to joke about. But today she was a bride. Her dress was simple, long-sleeved, lovingly stitched by her aunt. Her veil flowed behind her like a soft cloud. Her cheeks glowed with nervous excitement, and her heart thudded as she rode on the old decorative wedding wagon pulled by two white horses toward the ranch's outdoor aisle, where her groom-to-be, Henry Watson, was waiting. Henry was a rancher, tall, broad-shouldered, quiet as the mountains themselves. He had a rough exterior but the softest soul. And to Sarah, he was the first man who ever looked at her like she was worth loving. But the townsfolk, some of them, never let her forget their cruelty. As the wagon approached the aisle, the horses spooked at a loud bang. One of the teenage boys had popped a firecracker behind a hay bale just for laughs. The horses jerked. The wagon lurched violently. Sarah's heart jumped. Before she could grab the railing, the wheel hit a stone, jolted sideways. And Sarah fell. It didn't happen gracefully. It didn't happen quietly. She fell hard onto the dirt, her bouquet flying one way and her veil another. There was a terrible silence. Then the laughter began. It wasn't just snickering. It was loud, shameless, cruel. She broke the wagon. I knew it wouldn't hold her weight. Someone help her. Oh, wait, you might need a crane. Her vision blurred as she tried to sit up, her hands trembling, her face burning with shame. Tears stung her eyes before she could stop them. She hadn't wanted a fancy wedding. She hadn't asked for a wagon. All she wanted was to feel beautiful for once. The laughter grew. Cameras came out. Someone actually clapped mockingly. Sarah wished she could disappear. Then everything stopped. A shadow fell over her. Bootsteps approached, slow, steady, dangerous. Henry. His jaw was clenched, his eyes blazing with a fury none of them had ever seen before. He walked straight past the snickering guests and knelt beside Sarah. He didn't see a clumsy bride. He saw the woman he loved trembling in humiliation. He placed his hat gently on the ground and spoke softly to her, like everything around them had vanished. "Sweetheart," he murmured, "are you hurt?" Sarah shook her head, sobbing quietly. "I'm fine, Henry, I ruined everything." He didn't let her finish. Without hesitation, without effort, he slipped one arm under her knees, the other around her back, and lifted her off the ground. As if she weighed nothing. As if the whole world belonged in his arms. Gasps filled the ranch. The laughter died instantly. He held her close, her tear-streaked face pressed against his chest. His voice was low but carried like thunder across the silent crowd. "You all think this is funny," he growled, eyes sweeping across every guilty face. "You laugh at the woman I love on the happiest day of her life." No one answered. "Let me tell you something." His voice deepened, unshakable. "This woman right here has more kindness, more courage, and more heart than anyone standing here laughing. You don't deserve to witness a single second of her happiness." Sarah's breath hitched in his arms. Then he looked down at her, his voice breaking into something softer. "Sarah, you didn't fall." He smiled. "I caught you." She covered her mouth as fresh tears poured out, but this time they weren't from shame. He continued, speaking loudly enough for all to hear. "And for the rest of my life, every time the world tries to knock you down, I'll be right here to lift you back up." Something shifted in the air. The cruelty melted. People lowered their heads in guilt. Henry carried her all the way down the aisle, not caring about tradition, not caring about the whispers, not caring about anything but her. At the altar, he set her gently on her feet and looked into her trembling eyes. Marry me, Sarah, just like this, exactly as you are, because I don't want perfect. He brushed a tear from her cheek. I just want you. She broke down completely, nodding, unable to speak. The ceremony continued, but no one laughed again. Not a single whisper dared rise. When the vows were exchanged, the sun broke through the clouds as if the universe itself wanted to bless her. After they kissed, Henry leaned close and whispered in her ear, voice steady and full of love. They laughed today, but they'll remember this moment forever, not because you fell, but because I chose you, and I'll keep choosing you. When they walked back down the aisle, hand in hand, the same people who mocked her now wiped their eyes. Some apologized. Some ducked their heads in shame. But Sarah didn't see any of them. She saw only Henry, the man who lifted her when the world tried to break her. And for the first time in her life, she felt truly beautiful.